just make sure that the seed has become nice and hard so no mold develops while it's in store. To the messiest of them all, the ever popular tomato. The tomato is one of the seeds that will come out in a gel in a wet form, and we're going to have to wash it with water to get it to clean up. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the little stem ends on my tomatoes before I get started, not because it's required for seeding, but because I'm actually going to go ahead and get a double purpose out of this. I'm going to use these tomatoes to make some salsa later on, and seeding the tomatoes is actually desirable in the salsa recipe. So the tomatoes that you take down from the vine to use for seed should be in the perfect ripe state to eat. So now the easiest way really to get seed out of most tomatoes is just to cut the thing in two across the sections like that so the gel is fully exposed. And then look for a household strainer. I'm just going to take the fruit like so, and I'm just going to go ahead and smash this fruit along the sides gently without completely crushing the thing. Give it a little shake like that. On most varieties of tomato, the gel will fall out, leaving an empty husk over here that can be used to make tomato sauce or pasta or whatever you want to do with it. And so just go ahead and extract the seeds with the gel. There we go. Came out pretty good. Cleaning them out this way, you'll end up with less pulp in the strainer, so there'll be less cleaning process. I like that. Alrighty, now we've got our tomato seeds here inside the strainer with a minimum of tomato pulp. I'm going to go ahead and take these across the room and finish the process. Here we are at the kitchen sink, and got my tomato seeds right here in the strainer. I'm going to go ahead and start myself some cool water coming out of the tap over here. There we go. I'll start to run it across these tomato seeds. Now, you know, there's more than one way to clean a tomato seed. And so you're going to see all kinds of information about fermenting the seeds, and if you have a large batch, that is definitely a good way to get the pulp off of the seeds. Don't ferment too long, but it'll work. For the average homeowner in the backyard garden, I think cleaning up tomato seed in this process by using a little bit of water through a household strainer, just using your thumb here to mush whatever pulp is in here through the sieve of the strainer, and the water will take it away, leaving you with almost completely clean seed inside the strainer. So the tomato, as I said, is one of those examples of a seed that's going to be taken from the fruit wet, and we're going to process it using water. Just off the top of my head, seeds from fruits, like if you're harvesting an avocado seed, for instance, okay, using water to clean up the seed is feasible. Coffee seed is very commonly cleaned by using water to remove the mucilage, and most of us know about coffee, so there's, I guess, another example. There we go. We can pretty much tell by the color, whatever is left in this strainer, that most of the red color is gone. Mostly we have nice yellow looking seed. Now I'm going to go ahead, turn the water off, and I'm going to spread the tomato seeds out around the walls of the strainer so that most of them aren't touching each other, like that, right there. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my strainer, lay it over here, let the water drip out of the strainer into that side of the sink, and after it's done dripping, I'll be able to take the strainer out, set it up towards the back of the counter for a day or so. Tomorrow I'll come by here and I'm going to pick the seeds out of the strainer and drop them into a dish the same way we will with pepper seeds, and let them continue drying until they become crunchy. A little bit more of the mucilage of the pulp can be removed at that time by rubbing them between the fingers before we put them away. That's tomato seeds. Here we are out in the cucumber patch. I'm looking around for a cucumber that's in the right stage for taking seeds out of. That one there is good for salad. Got another one over here, looks pretty good for salad. This one here is starting to get a little overripe, but it's still not quite there. We need to find ourselves some great big old yellow Zeppelin over here.
Ah, there we go. In search of the perfect seed cucumber. See this baby right here? Nice, bright yellow, fully ripe. This is exactly what we're looking for to get seeds out of our cucumbers.
Well, now that we've chosen our great big yellow cucumber here, I'm going to go ahead and try to get the seeds out of this thing. I'm going to start out by slicing around the outside of the cucumber so that I can pop this open. I'm trying not to cut right straight through the center of it, because by doing that we're going to cut through quite a bit of seed because it's embedded in here. Okay, there we go. Let's see, how are we doing with this? Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. There's actually quite a bit of seed in here. You see, these look like they're fairly well formed. They're wrapped in the mucilage. We just take the knife, scrape it right on down through the cell walls here in the cucumber, both sides of the divide, and you see them come hopping out of there. As we hit them, the seeds are harder than the flesh. Some of these don't look like they're properly formed, but most of them look like they're going to be pretty good here. There we go. That's most of them. You can sort of feel them with the point of the knife as you run it down through the cucumber flesh. Now I'm just going to take all the seeds and get them inside my seed strainer over here, and then just like we did with the tomatoes, I'm going to take the strainer over to the sink and I'm going to wash the strainer out and try to get rid of some of the mucilage that's on these seeds. Well, there's our video on saving seeds in the home garden. I hope you all found a little bit of information out of that that'll make the job easier. Key points to repeat that most seeds either come in the dry form or you find them in the wet form. The ones that are dry, you clean them dry, you store them dry. Don't get them wet until you try to grow them again. The ones that come in the wet form or taken out wet can be washed with water or fermented in water to clean up the pulp on the outside, and then they're put to dry, and you keep them dry until you're ready to plant again. Otherwise, it would be how to separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. So you'll all develop methods in the home to be able to separate the trash and clean the pulp out of the seeds before you put them away and store them, or before you put them back into the garden. So happy seed saving. Let's get on out there, grab ourselves a mitt full of those nice dry bean pods. It's fall time, and begin to harvest some seeds for our home gardens. Thank you.